45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. I'm waiting for TikTok and YouTube to send out all the invites so that you guys can come in before we jump into it. We're doing 45, 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency. Oh man, my hips are hurting. Probably need it. And we do this every day to build a little bit of community, make stretching on the floor, suffering in our stretches a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. Again, we got nothing on YouTube. Something's going on with YouTube audio because it sounds like the YouTube audio keeps on not working particularly well, even though the microphone says we are connected. That is a bummer. We should have tested it again. The microphone is working. It's just for some reason the YouTube app does not like it. All right, well, nothing we can do about that other than see if it fixes itself when I plug it back in. All right, oh, come on up. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, the number one most important quality. And I already gave this spiel a second ago, so let's just get into it. We're starting with hip curls. All right, we're going to start by lifting this knee up as high as it can go directly in front. Lift, 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 lift. And then we're going to open up the leg to the side. Ooh, try to keep the hips in the same spot. And if that is good, we're ready to rotate. I want you to bring the ankle up as high as you can and keep on going and keep on going and keep on going and keep on going as high as you can bring that ankle. Ooh, then we're going to bring the leg down and back. All right? Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that leg behind you. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's go. Take a nice big deep strong breath. Hold that core tight and high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight high knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine high knee. Last one. Ankle up. Oh, that is hip curls on one side. Hip curls are for building strength and mobility at the same time. Mobility comes when you have the power to control the muscles. And that's what we are doing. We're trying to bring our leg into the deepest, craziest position that you can get into. And I hope this little ramble has given you a break because we got to get started with the other side. Comment came in just now. Liz White says, that hurts. It is not going to be easy. For sure. Okay. Let's continue. Other side. Keep that core nice and tight. Stand up nice and tall. Try to keep the hips in the same spot. Don't let them wiggle around and go all over the place. It's the leg that's moving. Hold on to the wall for a little bit for stability and let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. Keep going. Got three more. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. Oh. If your glutes are tired, if your hamstrings feel like they're about to cramp, those are good signs that you worked really hard and you really tried to bring those muscles and lift that leg in each of those positions. So, shake out your hips, shake out your legs, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and prepare to go in reverse. We just did the forward direction at first. Now we're going to go in reverse. Most of the movements are going to be the same. However, there's one thing I want you to doubly emphasize. All right, I really want you to keep that core nice and tight. And that's because the first move that we're going to do in reverse is this. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch out here in the hip flexor. Oftentimes, when we get a little too excited, we're just trying to kick that leg back as far as we can, put a whole bunch of pressure into the low back. All right, like where my hand is, that's the low back. When you start really trying to lift that leg back, you put a whole bunch of pressure here, your back is gonna get uncomfortable. It's gonna feel not so great. So the way to protect your low back is to maybe not lift your leg that far back, but also if you keep your core really tight and don't allow it to torque, then you won't put pressure on your low back. All right, so keep that core tight. Don't torque, and let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down. Bring that knee to the front. That's one rep. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Five? Did I say five already? Six. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Nine. Last one. Really bring that leg back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, and that's 10. Oh, we're 75% of the way there. We're 3/4 of the way. We got one last leg to go in reverse. Shake out the tension, relax, and let's go. Stand up straight. Keep that core nice and strong and tight. Hold on to the wall for balance if you need it, and let's begin. Hamstrings, glutes, flexed. Stretching out the hip flexor here. Bring that leg back. Ooh. Lift to the side. Rotate the ankle up, 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 up. As high as you can. Your hamstrings might feel like they're about to cramp. Bring the leg all the way down. Knee up. And bring that knee forward. That's one rep. We're going to do 10. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Oof. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 3. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 4, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 5, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 6, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 7, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8, 2 more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9, last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, that is all of our hip cars. We have just done 40 reps. 20 into the front, 10 on each leg, 20 back, 10 on each leg. That is our first warm-up exercise, and your hips are probably at least a little bit looser, if not completely exhausted. So we're going to take a chill for a second. We're going to get into our second warm-up exercise, and it is called the elephant walk. We're going to fold forward at the hips, bring that belly button down into the ground. If you have a tight low back from an injury, just sitting, and whatever else reason low backs are being low backy and uncomfortable, chill, breathe, flop, relax. Let the tension in your low back chill, nice and slow. And from here, when you're starting to feel it mostly in your hamstrings, we're going to start moving, all right? We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to focus on bringing the belly button down towards the ground, so you're feeling that hamstring stretch. In the elephant walk, all we're doing is switching the knee that's bent. We're switching back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And, you should be feeling it in your hamstrings. But you might also feel it a little bit higher up in your glutes almost, and that is because your hamstrings turn into tendons and they connect to the bottom of your pelvis, the bottom of your hips, and lo and behold, the bottom of your hips are probably what feels like is underneath your butt right now, all right? The other place where you might be feeling this a bit is in your calves and in your toes. If you're feeling a tingly sensation, oftentimes that's
called nerve flossing, nerve stretching, nerve gliding. I know it's got a lot of names. You can Google that on your own later, but it should be fine to continue if you're not doing super explosive reps. All right. If all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know what? Ken's talking about random things is so distracting. I didn't realize that this movement has started feeling a little bit easier. If it's feeling easier, great. Focus on bringing the belly button down just a little bit more. Feel that hamstring stretch get deeper. And 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Pop into a little bit of squat. Oh, come on up back into standing. And we're ready to continue. Next up, we are doing some thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is pretty much just above your low back and just below your neck. It's half of the joints in your spine, though. So, it's designed to move really well. And we're going to do some thoracic rotation, adding a little bit of twist. Okay? What I want you to do is get back into the same position we were just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and your belly button is folded forward and down. Okay? From here, I want you to take the arm from the bent leg side. I want you to reach across to the straightened leg. I want you to push against the straightened leg so you can open up your chest and reach your other arm up into the air. This is our starting position for some thoracic rotation. I want you to try your best to reach over that shoulder, reach far back behind you. And when you feel like you can't go any further, I want you to breathe. Small inhale, exhale. Oh, that is one side. We gotta go do the other side for the first rep to be done, all right? Switching the leg that's bent, switching the leg that's straight. Reach the arm from the bent leg side across the body. Push against that straightened leg to help open up your chest. Reach that arm over your shoulder behind you. Look at that hand with your neck rotated, with your eyes. Breathe. Exhale. And that is one complete rep. We're doing 5 of these in total. I talk fast. That does not mean you have to move fast. If anything feels particularly painful, particularly uncomfortable, feel free to stop, pause, breathe, and then when you're ready, continue if you can. We had a comment come in. No, we didn't. That was just a notification from TikTok. Continuing. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Reach arm across. Open. Look at the hand. Breathe. Other side. Whew. That's 2. Let's go. Again. 3. Breathe. Other side. Breathe. If you feel like you're breathing too much, too fast, you're getting lightheaded, you're hyperventilating, slow it down. You don't have to go as fast as me. I talk a lot and explain a lot of stuff. You got plenty of time to catch up, like right now. Okay? Continuing. 4. Breathe. Keep going. Also, when you're breathing for that rotation, the exhale is the most important part. Most of the time, you're not short on oxygen in your lungs. So if you take a tiny itty bitty breath in, like you're sipping a little bit of hot tea, and then you go, like your tongue has been burnt and you're trying to get rid of as much heat as possible, that will be a good combination. All right, tiny sip. Cool. All right. Hope that was enough exaggeration for you to get the memo. And I think this is our final thoracic rotation. That is, hopefully, a little bit more relaxed spine for you guys. Me for sure, but for you guys. All right, from here, we're going to jump on into our third and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. You don't have to jump into this immediately. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. What we want to do is basically pop into a deep squat on one leg and a side split on the other leg. Boom, and sit in the super deep compact position. We're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, pause, get small, get squished, squeeze, and then come back. All right, for most of us, dropping into this position is going to be really challenging. So let's pre-stretch and prepare our bodies for it. What I want you to do is bring yourself into a deep-ish squat. All right, and when you're on the ground as low as you can, I want you to try to pull your knees to your chest. And I want you to try to lean a little bit forward onto your toes so that your heels are off the ground. The reason why we're doing this is because we want the ankles to stretch. We want to feel this calf stretch, this Achilles tendon stretch, and we also want to get comfortable with getting small and compact so that we can do the Cossack switch. From here, once you're hanging out and having a good time, why don't you start doing a little wiggle, a little dance, shift that weight around, hula hoop if you can, just imagine that you're hula hooping, going around in circles, and hopefully that'll help your ankles, your hips, your knees loosen up just enough that we can get into a much more comfortable Cossack switch. From this position, I want you to take your hands, which were on your knees, and drop them down straight into the ground. And then we're going to take the leg that we're not using immediately, put it off to the side like this, heel down. The most important part of this whole thing right now is to drop this heel down on the ground. All right. What I want you to do is drop the heel and get as low as you can. If you can get super low all the way down, great. If you're a little bit higher up because you're not quite as flexible yet, that's also fine. All right. Whatever the case, the heel is down, gives you more stability. Cool. From here, we're going to shift our weight over. Whee! Boom. If you're higher up, it should be a little bit easier than if you're lower down to the ground. Regardless, to make it easier for yourself, you can put your hands down and help support your weight, support your balance. Boom. And back. We're doing 10 of these. You got enough information to get started. Let's go. Heels down on both sides. Get as low as you can and use your hands for help. 1. Over. Squish. Come on back. Starting number 2. Over. Squish. And back. Squish. 3. Squish. Back. Squish. If you don't need your hands, you're like, I got plenty of balance. I don't need this. Keep going without it. 4. And 5. If you're feeling a little bit of achiness in the inside of the knee right about now, you can focus on coming up first, coming across, and then sinking down into the stretch. That takes a little bit of the pressure off the inside of your knee while giving you most of the benefits. I think that's 6. Up, across, down, up, across, down. That's 7. If you're ready to make this even harder, you can sit up a little bit straighter. Extend your arms in front of you to help counterbalance and continue. 8. And back. Last 2. 9. Squish. Sink deep. And come on back. Sink deep. Last one. That is 10 Cossack switches. If you're not quite done with them, you need another second, go ahead and take that time. Don't feel like we're rushing you. I'm going a little bit fast. That does not mean you have to go fast. I talk a lot. You got plenty of time to catch up. All right? That is our 3 warm-up exercises. Hopefully your hips are feeling warmed up. Hopefully you're sweating a little bit. Your legs are loosened up. And we're ready, we're prepared for some stretches. Okay, the first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. And I recommend you go grab a little bit of cushioning so that you can put your knee down on the ground. This doesn't have to be fancy cushioning, doesn't have to be a mat. You can roll up a towel, you can take some dirty laundry, you can steal a dog bed, you can use a decorative pillow, you can use a couch cushion. Anything that gives your knee a little bit of foam is going to be fine. Flip-flops, shoes. Cool? So, let's get into the hamstring stretch. What we're going to do is start by dropping both knees down onto whatever padding you got. Alright? Take a look at your hips. I want you to maintain this position for the duration of the stretch as much as you can. Okay? The reason why I'm bringing this up is because oftentimes when we get into the stretch, which is going to look like this, we extend one leg in front, we get a little excited, we get a little rambunctious, and we start pushing one leg way far out. And we're like, oh, we're doing a split today. That is not what we're doing. But if you do start doing it, you'll notice one hip is kind of way out here, the other hip is kind of back there. Now your whole body is starting to rotate, and the stretch just got way more complicated. And it's not just the hamstring you're stretching, it's your hips, there's other stuff. We don't want that. It's too complicated. We're trying to keep it simple so that we can be effective at the one thing we're doing. All right? So bring that hip back. Get your hips to neutral as if you were looking down with your knees together. And we're going to fold our belly button down towards that leg. I'm going to spin around real quick so you don't have to stare at my head for the entire stretch. And you don't have to move at all. I want you to try and breathe. I want you to relax. I want you to Exhale and sigh out all the air in your lungs. Sort of like when I explained spitting out the tea because it was too hot. That tiny little bit of air into your lungs, a lot of air out. Cool? Once you've been here for a little bit and your hamstrings are starting to relax just a teeny tiny bit, focus on your calves, your toes, your feet, your glutes, your low back. Try to relax as much as you can when you sigh. And now it's time to take it up a notch. We're going to do an inhale, then we're going to slowly exhale, and we're going to try and fold our belly button down deeper into the leg. On this inhale, I want you to take a really big deep breath. But I don't want you to take that breath and then inflate yourself like a balloon and come back up. I want you to keep where you're positioned, stay in that spot, breathe in as much air as possible, and then slowly, and then let out as much air as you can while you fold. All right, let's go. We're doing it. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. You are in your new super deep stretched position. You should feel it in your hips. You should feel it in your hamstrings. You should be really, 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 really tense right now. And that's okay. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your hamstrings. I don't know if that's going to work as easily. Relax your glutes, relax your low back, and just sigh. Flop into that leg. If your hamstring is really intense right now, you can take your hand, you can stab your fingers into your hamstring muscles, massage them, just distract your brain from how intense this stretch feels. And we got bad news. We got another round of inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Now your hamstrings are really, really unhappy with you, but we are here. This is our new super deep stretch. Let's go. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Bring that belly button down to your thighs. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If right now you're trying to smash your knee into your face by doing this and you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your neck and in your shoulders, you're working too hard. This stretch is coming entirely from the hips. So if your face is coming down and you're feeling it in your neck, or your head is trying to touch your leg and you're feeling it in your upper shoulders, it's too much. Relax, chill. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's enough. Take your time. Drag that ankle back in. That is our hamstring stretch, and it was tough. We got a whole nother leg to do though, so don't get too tired right now. We got a whole leg to do. All right, all right, all right, all right. Breathe, chill, relax, drop the knees, get back into that squared up position, and let's continue. Extend the other leg out in front of you. Remember, we're keeping the hips in a very, very close together position, not extending way far out in front and twisting our bodies. All right, pull those hips back, and we're folding downwards. Fold, 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 fold some more. Your hamstrings are probably crying. You might be feeling a little bit in your glutes too. Breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And try to relax your calves, your feet, your toes, your glutes, your low back. As you exhale, relax. We're ready to inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Bring that belly button down. We're in a new, deeper, crazier stretch. Breathe, chill, try your best to relax. Massage those hamstrings with your fingers. Just poke them, stab them, distract your brain from how intense this stretch is with new sensations. And don't forget to breathe. Whew, 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 whew. We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale, fold. You ready? Let's do this. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We are in a new super deep stretch. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Bring that belly button down to the thigh. 16, 15, 14. Keep on breathing. Try to relax. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, come on up. Put your hands down. Pull the leg in. That is our hamstring stretch. That is the first of our 5 stretches. If your hamstrings are tired, that is okay. It's not a big deal. Everything's fine. We spend a lot of time working on those hamstrings because some of the other stretches that we're going to do rely on the hamstrings being relaxed so you can focus on some new muscles, all right? And that's why your hamstrings are crying a little bit right now. We spent a lot of time getting into a really deep hamstring stretch, and hopefully you'll appreciate it a little bit when we do the pancake. All right, we're going to get on into our second stretch. It's called the butterfly stretch. And I recommend you get your butt over to a wall so that you can rest your butt, your shoulders, your back, your head up against that wall. All right, let's do it. Let's go. I'm sitting on a little piece of foam because my floor is quite slippery. And when I get into this stretch, my feet start sliding forward. The foam has a little bit more friction, makes it a little bit easier to stretch. So when your hips are against the wall, your mid back, your low back, your shoulders, your head are all resting against the wall, we're ready to begin. Bring those feet together, pull them into your groin, and you're in the starting position. From here, we are focusing on the muscles right here in the groin, okay? The way we do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. Now, what I want you to do, because I want you to get strong and mobile, is I want you to use these muscles in your outer thighs and your glutes to help pull your legs open into the ground. And go ahead and give that a shot. If you're brand new to the show and you're like, what muscles are those? That's crazy. Yeah, probably, because I don't know why you'd be using these muscles normally. Try your best, and if you're feeling a stretch here in the groin, if you're seeing your knees go deeper into the ground, that is a sign that you're doing the right thing. All right, so give that a shot. If your legs are going the generally right direction and they're getting stuck, you're probably doing it right. You don't have to worry too much about the details. Okay, we're gonna add some more intensity. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna apply a little bit of pressure just below the knee. We're gonna push the knees down into the ground. Push, 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 push. That's it. That's the whole stretch. Oh, actually, no. There's one more thing. One more thing. You pushed your legs down, but now you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure on the back of your head and in your shoulders. That's because your shoulders are attached to your arms. Your arms are pushing down one direction. They're also pushing back the other direction, and that is why you're feeling pressure in your head. It is totally normal. Now we're done. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Keep on breathing, nice and chill. When you sigh out that air, see if you can bring your legs a little bit deeper. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. If you've been flexing the muscles in your legs this whole time, relax them. If you've been relaxing them this whole time, you completely forgot, flex them as hard as you can. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and push your hands deeper into the stretch. 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Relax your hands, relax your legs. If your wrists are tired, you can do a little gentle T-Rex hand up and down. Give them a little bit of movement, a little bit of relaxation. And if your legs are struggling to move right now, you might want to give them a little shake and be like, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. There's stuff coming up. We got the next move. And once you shake them out a little bit, they should wake up. You should be able to flap the wings of your butterfly, and we'll be ready to get on into stretch number 3. I warned you about it briefly earlier. It is the pancake stretch. You don't know this yet because I didn't tell you it, at least not in this show. But this is going to be the hardest stretch of the whole entire show. It only gets easier from here, okay? For the pancake, we are opening the legs, nice and wide. If you've gone really far out, you're starting to feel a pinching pain in your hips, you've gone too far, bring the legs back in just a little bit. Once that pinching pain is gone, we're ready to fold. Focus on this belly button and fold at the hips. Whee! Boom. Here is your starting position. Okay? From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Remember, legs apart, folding the belly button down. Ta-da! Boom. This is the pancake. The goal of the pancake is to fold until your body is like in between your legs and you're flat like that. Pancake is hard. Is really, really, really hard. So what I want you to do is use gravity to help as much as possible. And the way we do that is basically by getting our upper body as close to horizontal as possible. If you're folded at 9 degrees, that's perfect. You're in gravity optimized zone. But we also want to fold really far forward, right? So how do we do that? You can do a combination of things. You can stick your butt really far back behind you, extend your arms out in front of you, and you can try to keep your upper body level while closing that angle and making it smaller because your butt moves back, all right? Whee! From here, you can do a couple other things. You can ignore my bring the butt back entirely, and you can just focus on folding forward. You can also increase leverage. The way you do that is by sticking your biceps by your ears, extending your arms like so, and all of a sudden the stretch will feel way more intense and will bring your face down into the ground. You can combine this with the tip I just gave by scooting the butt back. You can ignore that if it feels like you're off balance, and we're basically in the pancake. Okay? That's it. That's everything. If you want, you can make it harder by holding on to some weight. If you want, you can make it easier by not holding on to anything and not extending your arms. And I want you to try your best to widen your stance as much as possible now that you're folded forward like this. You should find that you're able to get into a wider stance a little bit more comfortably than when you were standing. All right? I think that's enough talking for me. I think we're good. Wide stance, fold forward, bring the belly button down, focus on that belly button, focus on it coming down. Extend your arms if you want torture, bring your arms back if you want less torture. Otherwise, breathe. 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. If you feel like your face is too close to the ground, you're going to fall forward, you can, again, stick your butt back, and your rest of your body will help counterbalance it, and your face will come further from the floor. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. If you've been playing it safe, try a little torture. Extend your arms up. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, put your hands down. That's it. That's the whole thing. Whew. If your hamstrings are on fire right now and your legs don't move, you might understand why I say this is the hardest stretch of the whole entire show. Slowly, try to wiggle your heels together, wiggle your toes together, wiggle your heels together, wiggle your toes together, wiggle your heels together, wiggle your toes together, wiggle your heels together, and keep going until finally your legs are like kind of underneath you. Oh. If you're still hunched over, like you might need to be using the cane, that's okay. Just slowly try to stand up a little straighter. Wobble like a drunk penguin. And after a little bit, your legs, your hamstrings, your hips will start working, and you can do a little dance until that happens. Okay, oh man. That was a third stretch. That was a standing pancake. Usually I talk a lot about it, but
It's good up today. We're gonna move on to something a little gentler. We're gonna go into our fourth stretch. We got the option between the pigeon or the figure four. Both stretches look a little bit like this. We're gonna bring one leg just above the knee. We're gonna pull this knee or pull this leg up towards our belly button. We're gonna fold our belly button down towards that leg. If you haven't noticed, we do a lot of folding and bringing the belly button down because it's necessary for our hip mobility. From here, we're basically in this position, and we're trying to feel a stretch out here in the side of this hip. Technically, this is a glute muscle, but it's the side of the hip, side of the glute. Cool? Whew. I'm pretty sure yesterday we did the pigeon, so I'm going to explain the figure four. If you have a figure, you already know what you're doing, go ahead and hop into it and do whatever it is that you like. But I'm explaining the figure four. What we're going to do is get our butts on the ground, and we're going to lay down. So, if you've been exhausted for the last 30 minutes, this is your chance to not fall asleep and work really hard. Let's cross this leg over to the other side, just like I explained when we were standing. We're going to do this next step a little bit differently than what I just explained. We're going to stick one hand through the triangle we just made, and the other hand around the leg. We're going to pull everything in towards our chest. And this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Breathe for a second, inhale, exhale, and pull that leg deeper into the stretch. Oof, I'm going to spin around on my back so you can see this angle a little bit better. Breathe some more. Pull that leg. Oh, man. I keep on turning into a turtle and flopping over to the side. That is not intentional. I'm trying to look at the camera to see what my body is doing. Keep on pulling that leg. Keep on pulling that leg. Keep on pulling that leg. Pull it in as much as you can without feeling like your leg is going to explode. And breathe. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. One of the reasons why, or I guess the main reason why I made you pull your leg in so much is because when you're forcing your arms to do a lot of the work, a lot of us, especially because this is a stretching show, we've been chilling, we've been relaxing, we are not pulling very hard, and we're not pushing our bodies to what they're capable of. If you were doing a pigeon, you'd probably be folded way further forward than what you're in right now. So that is why I tell you over and over again to pull that leg in. Pull. 15, 14, 13, 12. If you're feeling a little bit of ache in the knee, you can support it and pull on it directly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the arms drop to the side. Uncross the legs, let those drop too. And since you're laying here, you can let your knees flop to either side. Give your low back some relaxation. When you're pulling your knees into the chest, you probably felt a little bit of tension in the low back and the mid back. So here's your chance to give it a little bit of relaxation. Whew, that is part one of our fourth stretch. We got the other leg to do, and then we'll be ready for some side splits. Let's go. Spin around, do the other leg, pull it up through the triangle, around the outside, pull that leg in, pull, 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 pull some more, breathe, pull, 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 pull some more, breathe, pull, 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 breathe, pull, 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 breathe, sigh all that air out, pull, 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 and we're ready. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Remember, you can cup your knees and pull them in. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, I fell, 2, 1, 0. Drop your arms off to either side. Let the legs relax. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Let the knees drop. Let your back stretch out a little bit, relax, and we're almost ready. It's time for our fifth and final stretches. Oh, come on back up into standing. Hopefully, your low back and your hips are relaxed because it's time. It's time for our fifth and final stretch. We are doing some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, don't worry. I explain everything as we go, and we take it nice and slow, break it down into lots of little steps so that we can all get into it together. And when you get stuck, when you're not going any further down into the ground, that is a perfect place for you to be. And you can make a little bit more progress tomorrow. All right? So, first thing we care about is safety. I want you to stand right in front of this wall, about 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. The reason for that is because I want something to be behind you to catch you if you lose balance and you start falling backwards. All right? We spend a lot of time in this kind of position. We spend a lot of time in this kind of position. We spend a lot of time squirming and adjusting and tweaking and trying to get our legs into a deeper split. Occasionally, you might push a little too much, and then suddenly you'll be like, I've lost balance, I'm falling, and then you'll swim through the air, and then you'll start falling backwards. Luckily, I told you to stand right in front of the wall, and you stood in front of the wall, so now your butt has touched the wall, your back has maybe bounced into it, and you've come back, and everything is cool, everything is chill, everything is safe. But if you were to try the same thing without a wall behind you, and you start swimming, you start falling backwards, oh, it would hurt a whole bunch more. So don't do that. Stand in front of the wall. Cool? 8 to 12 inches, 1.5 footsteps in front. All right? Next, we are getting into the side splits. I want you, once you're 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, to open up your legs nice and wide. Okay? If you're feeling a pain in your hips, a pinching sensation, something really uncomfortable, you've gone too far, bring your legs a little bit back in. All right? Once you've done that, we're ready to fold. Focus on this belly button right here. Bring it down into the ground, and we're ready to begin. Put your hands down on the ground if you can. If you cannot reach the ground, feel free to use something to elevate your hands. For example, some yoga blocks, or a stool, or a chair. When you are in a nice, comfortable, stable position, we are going to be ready to rotate our legs. All right, this is the most important part of the whole entire show. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate our whole leg back 90 degrees. We're going to go from this position where your feet are flat on the ground and your knees are sort of pointing towards the camera, towards you guys. And we're going to go whoosh, point the knee up, the toes up, have that heel down on the ground. If your heel is experiencing a lot of pressure, it's very uncomfortable right now, you might want to put on some flip-flops, get a little bit of foam underfoot for support. But otherwise, rotate the other leg. We gotta do both. Boom. Your hands would probably benefit from being down on the ground for support. But if your butt is against the wall, like I recommended, you can do it from there. You're just going to feel a whole lot more pressure on your heels. Okay? From here, when your legs are rotated, you're in position. This is a side split. Maybe a really high side split, depending on how high off the ground you are, but it is a side split. And the reason it is a side split is because you've rotated your thigh bone out of the way so it does not smash into your hip bone. So the only thing holding you back right now is your muscles. That's all. That's everything. We're stretching. We're good. Do a little wiggle from side to side so you can get just a little bit deeper into the stretch. If your feet are a little sweaty, they might stick a little bit more. If you have foam underneath your feet to pad your heels, maybe they'll slide a little bit more. Depends, and you're going to have to adjust for you. Okay? From here, we got options. If you sit with your butt against the wall, because you're so close to the wall, you might be able to sit up pretty straight. All right? When you do that, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your hamstrings, and you'll have your butt leaning against the wall, so it feels relatively comfortable, feels relatively safe. The alternative is you can walk your hands forward and have your chest almost parallel to the floor. Your legs will start rotating a little bit, and your inner thighs will be facing the ground. When that is happening, your inner thighs are going to be stretched out the most, and that is going to hurt the most. I have given you a lot of explanation. Hopefully you're in position. 30 seconds, 30 more seconds. I'm sorry, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22,
21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, walk your hands forward, pull your legs in, and we're going to talk about that stretch for a second. Whew. If you felt a really intense pinching sensation in the hip while you were doing that stretch, I would generally recommend that you rotate your legs back a little more. All right. So if you're here, you're feeling a pinching sensation, I want you to focus on bringing the leg, rotating it back a little bit more, right? So what that might mean is if your toes are still pointing kind of forward at a diagonal, try to rotate them a little tiny bit further back so that they're pointing straight up. If they're already pointing straight up, try to rotate them a tiny little bit back so they're a tiny bit behind you, and see if that helps with the pinching sensation. Other than that, take your time, do what you can, and remember to breathe. All right? Whew, hopefully you're able to come out of that position. And we're going to start shaking out some of the tension we just put into our legs. All right. The way we do side splits is we do 3 rounds of 30 seconds, and in between each round, we shake out our legs, we get loose, we get wiggly, we get relaxed, so that we can get into a second, we can get into a third side split, and get a little bit deeper each round. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to relax, and I want you to do that by shaking out your leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. If you need to focus on just one thing, make sure your ankles are just doing whatever the heck they want. Just flopping all over the place. If your ankles are relaxed, the muscles above them that control the ankle, like that flex the foot, that point the toe, that rotate it from side to side and do all the other things, those muscles are also going to be relaxed because they have to let you do whatever it is you're trying to do. And that is good enough. Other side. Ankle, 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 ankle. Ankle, 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 ankle. Ankle, 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 ankle. And drop that leg. Next up, we're going to shake out our hips just a little bit. All right. What I want you to do is put all of your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe of the other foot down on the ground. There's almost no weight on that toe. All right. Bend the knee just a little bit and bring the knee in and out. Sorry, in and out, in and out, and in and out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. It is just this leg and where it connects to your hip that is moving. All right. As you get a little bit more control of those muscles, you can stand up a little straighter. You don't have to bend the knee as much. You can start going a little bit faster, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And as you go faster and faster and faster and faster, that leg will start relaxing. Your quad muscles will start swinging and flinging and going flying all over the place, and that is the relaxation we want. All right? Other leg. All your weight is in one foot and one leg. Big toe of the other foot is down. We're rotating in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. And as you get faster and faster and looser and looser and looser, we're shaking out the quads, we're shaking out the thighs, we're shaking, 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 shaking until your whole leg is looking like it's turned into jello. You don't have to get there all in one day, by the way. You can just focus on mastering the in and out first, and then slowly picking up the speed. And if you want, you can take that move and turn it into some dance. You can turn it into some stanky leg, do both sides, bring the knees in and out together, and when your hips are feeling looser, when your legs are feeling a little bit more relaxed, we're just about ready to get into our second side split. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that you have something to fall back into if you start falling backwards. Knock on wood, you don't, but if you do, that's what the wall's for. All around those legs, nice and wide. If your hips are pinching, you've gone too far, bring them back in just a little bit. Fold at the belly button, go all the way down. And from here, try to put your hands on the ground. If you can't reach, if it's not comfortable, elevate your hands. 1 yoga block, 2 yoga blocks, a stool, a chair, whatever it is that you need, go ahead and use it. From here, we're going to do the most important thing in this whole entire show. We're going to rotate our thigh bone so it does not smash into our hip bone. So only thing holding us back from a side split is the muscles. All right? So we don't want our bones to be holding us back. That's going to hurt. From here, your feet were flat on the ground. We'll rotate the leg back so that, boom,
Your heel is down, your toes are up, your knees are up. And it's not just one leg that we're doing both. Boom! Heel down, toe up, knee up, quads pointing up, or at least at a diagonal-ish. Alright? From here, we are only being held up by our muscles. So, do a little wiggle, do a little lean from side to side. See if you can push your legs out a little bit deeper. If you are stuck, if you're done, it's okay. You don't have to keep pushing. But if you feel like there's a possibility, there might be something more hidden in your muscles, then keep going. Do a little wiggle, do a little shake. Keep on squeezing out that last little bit of stretch. And again, if you elevate your hands, it will be a little bit easier to stand up a little straighter and maybe get more weight into your hips because all your body weight is going boom down into the ground. Oof, okay, I shouldn't have done it that fast. That was intense. Woo! When you're done, go in deep. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Try to relax as many muscles as you can. Relax your calves, relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your glutes, relax your low back. Relax, 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 relax. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Walk your hands forward. The further you walk them, the easier it will be to pull your legs in from behind you. Walk, 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 walk. And that is our second side split. If you need to grunt, if you need to groan, if you need to make a bunch of sound effects, feel free. Don't let me hold you back. I can't hear you anyway. God. Okay. That was our second side split. We're gonna come up into standing. We're gonna shake out the legs, shake out the tension, and we're going to wrap things up real soon. I promise. We have only 3 rounds of side splits, so the next one is the last one. Okay. If you're just joining in and all you've seen is a grown man grunt and groan and suffer, know that we do 45 to 60 minutes of live hip mobility and side split stretching every single day to practice the number one quality, consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the struggling, the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little bit less pure suffering. So if you like consistency, you like side splits, you want to work on your hip mobility, and you need help with consistency, hit follow, hit subscribe. Keep coming back because we're here every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. Every day. That's Monday through Sunday. All right? So if you want to suffer again tomorrow, you should come back tomorrow. Right? Okay. We got to shake out the tension. Hopefully, after the marketing stuff, you have relaxed a little bit. But it's not enough. Shake out the legs. Flip that ankle around. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. Turn your leg into floppy ramen noodles. All right? Shake out the tension. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Again, if your ankles are loose and they're just going all over the place, doing whatever they want, all the muscles directly above them that control what your ankles are doing are also loose. Okay? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And when your legs are loose, we're ready to move on into some hip stuff. Alright, put all your weight into one leg. Drop the big toe of the other foot down on the ground. Rotate in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And make it fun. As you get better at this, be more dancey with it. Counter rotate with your hands. I don't know. Have something fun. And do some stanky leg, Put those new muscles you've learned to master to work. And let's do the other side. All your weight is on one leg, big toe is down on the other. Rotate that leg in and out and 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 in and out. And stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. And combine both the legs at the same time. Have fun with it. Oh, okay. Hopefully your legs are a little bit looser. Hopefully they're a little bit more relaxed. No, we get ready for side split number 3. Let's do it in this last one. Whew, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall for most people. That is 1.5 footsteps. Open up your legs nice and wide. Make sure your hips don't hurt. If they do, bring your legs back in and fold. Bring that belly button down towards the ground if you can. Put your hands down on the ground. Give yourself a little bit of support. If you cannot, elevate your hands. Give yourself a little bit of support. From here, we're doing the most important part of the whole entire lie. We're rotating the whole entire thigh bone back 90 degrees. What that looks like is, look at that feet is flat on the ground. We're rotating the leg back 90 degrees. And now the heel is down. The toes are up. The knees are up. The quads are pointing up. But it's not enough to just do one leg. We gotta do both. So other leg, boom, heels down, toes up, knees up, quads up, everything pointing up. And you can get into this position with your hands on the ground, right? Boom. You can get into this position with your butt against the wall as well, and you can get into position with a combination of everything in between. As long as your legs are rotated so the tops of your knees are pointing up into the air, that is enough. We are in a side split position. You might be higher up in that side split position, but you're in a side split position, and now it's just muscles holding your back. Do a little wiggle from side to side. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See if you can get just a little bit deeper. Keep on leaning and leaning and leaning and leaning. And remember, we're trying to relax our muscles as much as possible. When you relax, the muscles get long. And when you get tense and you contract them, the muscles get short. When they're short, you're not going to be able to stretch very far. So relax. Breathe. Exhale. If your feet, your toes were flexing real hard, because I was like, hey, you have to point your toes into the sky, so you're working real hard pointing your toes into the sky. At this point, you can relax those toes. Oh, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the quads, relax the hamstrings, and relax the glutes, relax the low back, and sigh and breathe. Oh, man, that's tiring. 30 seconds. We're almost done. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. If you're feeling a strong pinching sensation in the hips, again, try to rotate that leg even further back just a little bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. The further you walk, the more you pull your legs in behind you, and the easier it is to get out of that stretch position. The more rounds we do, the deeper you can get into the side split, the easier it is to get into the side split, but the harder it is to get out of it. So, hopefully, you're out. Congratulations, you've done all the hard stuff. We're gonna do a couple more relaxation, floppy, shaky, shaky stuff, and then we'll do a quick round of joint checks, and we'll be done. Let's go. Come back into standing when you're no longer waddling around like a drunk penguin. We're ready to shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I've been talking about relaxing your ankles, relaxing your calves, but what really matters is relaxation in general. So if you want to start adding and combining things into this movement so that your legs are rotating and shaking and you're doing a crazy dance move all at the same time, that is fine. It's absolutely cool. Because all I care about is that your muscles are relaxed and they're not super tense from the stretching that we're just doing. All right? Whew, shake out the leg. Shake, 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 shake. I want you to become a soggy, overcooked noodle. I want you to be wobbly and wiggly and jiggly and I don't know why that's my sound effect for wobbly and jiggly, but pretend you're jello. Become the jello. And when your legs are relatively loose, let's shake out the thighs. All your weight is on one leg, big toe is down, rotate in, out, 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 fast, 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 fast. When you get really fast, really relaxed, all of your weight is in this leg, you're gonna start moving so fast, the quad muscles don't have time to react and your whole leg starts just going flying everywhere. That is what we want. Ultimate shaky, shaky, relaxy, relaxy. I don't know why I just repeat the word twice and add a Y at the end to make it sound like it's a cool thing. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And oh man, that's tiring. Okay, our legs are relaxed. We're gonna do some joint checks. For the joint checks, I just want you to basically do a big hip circle. Nice and slow. Not just one, actually. A couple of hip circles. Take your time. Try and get as much range of motion as deep as you can. Feel all the weird sensations. After the side split, I feel it in the left side and the right side of the hip the most. My low back is always tight, so I feel it quite a bit when I lean forward. And I don't seem to feel anything at all when I lean back. So I'm going to focus on the sides, the backs, and the sides. There's only one back. I don't know why I said backs. Sigh, relax. Give your muscles a little bit of attention. Chill. And when you're feeling a little bit looser, we're ready to move on. Tip your knees up nice and high. You only have to do it once. If it's coming up, your muscles are working, we can move on. Next up, we're going to pop into a squat and do calf raises from that squat position. If your toes are not very mobile and they can't do things, I recommend that you spend some time trying to make them work, all right? Whether that's clenching them together like you're trying to make a fist, or flexing them up so that none of them are touching the ground when your feet are on the ground. So you're doing this basically, with not your hands but your toes, and a whole bunch of other random shenanigans like grab stuff off the floor with your toes. Perhaps play tug of war with your dog, where you're grabbing a sock in between your toes and the dog is pulling on the other end. You get really strong feet that way. The reason why I bring this up is because your toes are very, very, very powerful for keeping you balanced, for keeping you stable, from keeping you from stumbling, from keeping you from falling. Right? Do I have a demonstration? I have a demonstration. I can just pop up onto my two big toes and they can support a lot of weight. I don't train this that often, normally, at all, but it helps a lot when you're leaning really far forward or losing balance if your big toe can just push you right back, right? This is a terrible example because I really didn't think this through or think about it at all before I started giving the example. But my point is, your toes are super powerful for keeping your feet stable, for helping you balance. And if you train them a little bit, they'll be super useful for keeping you stable. All right. If you're in the age category where slipping and falling is an issue, definitely invest some time into your toes, making them work. And we're gonna do a little bit of that right now. We're gonna pop into a squat. All right. We're gonna bring our chest down towards our knees. And I want you to fold. I want you to fold so much that you're starting to lean a little bit forward. Don't actually fall. So, if you need to, keep your hands out in front of you. But when you're leaning forward like this, your toes should be working pretty hard. Okay? They should be gripping into the floor to keep you from falling forward. And you should be feeling it in your toes. When your toes are working real hard, the arches of your feet usually are going to be kicking in and getting real confused and like, why are we working so hard? What's going on? Huh? And that's good too. We want the feet working really hard. From here, we're going to push our knees forward a little bit past our toes if we can. When you do this, you're going to feel a huge stretch in your Achilles tendon. You're going to feel a stretch in your calves. You can poke your calves to double check that they're tense right now. All right? When you're in this position and you're leaning forward, you're going to be feeling a whole bunch of pressure on your toes, and your toes should be working real hard trying to keep you from falling over. If that's the case, great, we're ready to continue. I want you to put your hands down, maybe your fingers, maybe nothing at all if you feel like you have strong balance. And I want you to really focus on this calf raise. Bring your center of balance just beneath your big toe, maybe in between your big toe and your index toe. Come on up and down and up and down. Again, you can hold on to the floor if you need a little bit of support. Do as many as you'd like. If you only want to do one and you're ready to call it quits, that's fine. If you want to do 6, 7, 8 until your legs stop working, that's also cool. I don't mind. When you're done, when you're ready, I just want you to know one or two things. I didn't really plan this, so it might be one, it might be two. We just made our toes work really well with our feet, with the arch of the foot, with our heels, Achilles tendon, our calves, maybe the tibialis. You might not have flexed this muscle right here in the front. That's okay. Your quads, your knees, your hips, your low back, and
we force them to work really well together, doing some calf raises, staying balanced, staying controlled, staying flexed, staying tense, staying and adjusting so that you can actually do crazy weird things from that bent over squatty calf raise position, right? That's important because a lot of fitness uses very fixed movements. A lot of life is not that fixed and is not that perfect and is not perfectly flat floor, and you don't have a perfect scenario. So occasionally you should definitely practice imperfect environments and doing kind of weird things where you're slightly off balance and you're forcing things that don't usually work when you're using a squat or doing something like what we just demonstrated, and give that a go because you only get better at what you train. All right, that is our show. Hopefully you were able to do that last little joint check, and now you know all of your lower body muscles are working really good because you were able to pull it off. All right, thank you so much everybody for coming in. We just did, actually I have no idea what time is it. We just did, oh, we did fast, an hour and 5 minutes, so 65 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. And we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do this every day because we're practicing the most important quality, that is consistency. It's really hard to do hard things, and even if you have the best plan, if you can't follow it, you're just not gonna. It's not, it's not really the best plan, right? Because you gotta follow it. So we're really here focusing, trying to do the same workout basically every single day at the same time, trying to send good vibes, have other people do it with you, so we can stay consistent and get the important mobility hip stuff done, and the side splits, that'd be sick too, right? I'm still working on them, obviously, because I wasn't on the ground 10 minutes ago, and I hope you'll join me again for a bit of more side splitty, hip mobility, movementy stuff like this. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's the same show every day. I just make up some random stuff throughout to try and add something interesting as we go. So it's not completely the same, but the exercises are. All right. And the goal of that is not to bore you, but to make it so that you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time learning stuff. You can just jump into it, do the thing, and relax. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the live. I'm very tired and sweaty. Paul Diesel says, thanks always, King. User 1324725092754. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Shiro Tsukihana, I don't think I've seen your name before. Thank you for being here, and thank you for engaging in the comments. I really appreciate when people hang in the comments because it helps to give me extra excitement towards the live. Obviously, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention until just now because I was really far back there. But every time you guys ask a question, helps me keep the live extra interesting, helps me think about stuff that I don't talk about, maybe gives me ideas for explaining new things while we do the live, or explain things a little bit different. So please do engage in the live so that I know you're here. I just passed, I think, almost 12,000, no, 11,800 followers on TikTok yesterday, the day before yesterday. So there's a lot of people whose names I don't know, and I'd love to get to know them. If you have been here for a long time, because I know there's a bunch of you who have been here for a long time. I won't name drop, but I can see the stats, and you don't say anything. Feel free to jump in, or not. You can totally keep it quiet and private. Julia Vivi says, thank you. Your exercises help a lot. Amazing. I am so happy that you're here. Okay, I'm going to scroll and go back up as fast as I can to see what I've missed. Paul Diesel says, we were lagging, but you're in it. Oh, that's a bummer. The internet's supposed to be really fast here. John Wick over on YouTube asks, is it just started? We actually just ended 3 minutes ago. We just finished. But we do this every single day at 9 p.m. So you can feel free to hop back in tomorrow. We started an hour and 8 minutes ago. So tomorrow, an hour and 8 minutes ago. And alternatively, like Queen RR just said in the chat, there will be a recording of this live up on YouTube in a little bit as soon as YouTube finishes uploading it. And also, I think we probably have 8 months worth of recordings from this show because we do this every day. And those should be in the YouTube profile under the playlist called Live Sessions. There should be hundreds that you can go check out. Also, we have a long form version of this video, meaning it's normal wide YouTube video that I just uploaded, and it's
a recording of an older version of the show. I recorded it 3 or 4 months ago, but all of the exercises is the same. I just explained some of them in a slightly different way, and you can go check that out as well if you want a quick follow along with some explanation. Cool. That is available. It's the most recent video that I've uploaded on the YouTube account. You can go check that out. Probably right here on this page by clicking on my profile. Cool. That is for our YouTube peoples. If you're on TikTok, the username for YouTube is at splits on the side. So it's the same exact username as on TikTok. And yeah, under live sessions and under long form video uploads, whatever the regular folder is, that is where you'll find other videos of the live. Travel Doxy says, is it laggy for anyone or is it just me? Oh man, there's a bunch of people who just had a lot of lag. I am so sorry. Bummer. Well, nothing I can do about it now other than scroll back into the chat. Kilmar says, thanks, Ken. You're welcome, Kilmar. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. I'm going to scroll as fast as I can, see what I've missed. And if you guys asked a question earlier and you're still on, feel free to send it back at the bottom of the chat because I might not see it because I'm scrolling really fast. Goody. Hey, welcome back, Goody. Says, can't do that one. You are great, though. Oh, thanks. I wish I knew which one you were talking about so I can give you some adjustments to try. Anthony asks, how important is it to stretch adductors? It is relatively important to stretch adductors because that is one of the primary muscles in the side split themselves. The adductors, my earbud fell out. The adductors are these muscles on the inside of your thigh. All right, their job is to pull your legs into the center of your body. So when you stretch them, basically you're just bringing them out to the outside of your body, and they are a pretty critical piece of the side splits. In fact, for most of us, if you are doing a side split like this, it's probably the only muscle that you'll be feeling for a bit. You might feel a little bit of pressure around the knee area, but if you're poking at your legs, that is pretty much the only muscle that is tense right now. So it's very important to stretch the adductors. Whew. What else we got? I have a couple of new messages to respond to at the bottom, but I will get there in a second. I'm going to scroll up a little bit longer and see if I can get to the top in the next couple of seconds. Oh, I'm up to the top. All right, all the way back down. What else we got? Annalyn says, good afternoon. Welcome back, Annalyn. Julia says, thank you. Your exercise helped a lot. All right, boom. That's it. That's the whole chat. Watching from Hawaii. That's awesome. What time is it in Hawaii? Is it like... Actually, I have no idea what time zone it is in Hawaii. I hope you're having a great time and you still have sun to enjoy because it is pitch black outside where I am. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. It's 4:12. Wow, that's incredible. I think you might be the earliest person watching this live right now. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for the internet issues today. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the live. I hope you enjoyed the exercises. And I hope you'll be back soon because we do this live every day at 9 p.m. to practice consistency, to build a little community, and to make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit less just pure suffering and a little tiny bit more fun. All right. I'll see you guys soon. 22.5 hours and change. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Close up. And over on YouTube, if I could just get rid of these notifications, I'll be able to close out here too.